He's the slick talking, jive walking, morning banana show host, eating the one and only shostest with the mostest. I'm Josh.
Hello, everyone. Not sure what all this is. That's a tag. My name is Adam. This is the Morning Banana Show. We are here. Morning Banana Show number 209, I believe. 209 bananas we've had together. Here I am in the hillside of the Algarve, Portugal. This is Banana Bill. This is Little Kim. And that is Kim's husband, Bruce. And there over here we have Devani and Devani's cute baby. And so many other bananas all the way around here, other than Fox and Dahlia and the Seven Dwarves. We're in a banana circle here in the hillside of the Algarve. Yes, it's February 27th. And I'm here hanging out with you guys on the Morning Banana Show. It is nice out. I'm wearing a sweater because it's a little bit chilly. The sun is still rising. It's about 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. And let me pour coffee and we'll get right into it. I mean, I woke up this morning here in our beautiful paradise, L.O.V.E Farmstay, in the hillside of the Algarve, Portugal, in Europe. And I was checking the news and I realized that Andrew and Tristan Tate are on a private jet right now, a Gulfstream, on their way to America, apparently. I have it on radar, and currently they've crossed over the Atlantic and they are towards the coast of Canada. They would have Nova Scotia and Newfoundland on their right side. Last I checked. So a lot of questions. People are freaking out. The internet is freaking out. Like, how could Andrew and Tristan Tate be allowed to travel outside of Romania? So that's kind of top of the list. If you want more information on this case or are following it, you can follow Crayon Murders on X. I reached out to him for comment, but he was not immediately available before I started recording. He did wish me good luck on the show, though, so shout out to Crayon Murders. He has been covering the case for a long time, and I think he's kind of like I am, maybe a little bit older and retired, and got involved because of family members and their interest in Andrew Tate. And I have a similar story, as people know, that my son and I were interested in Andrew Tate, and then at some point, and in his lifestyle, and like at some point, Caden asked me, how did Tate make his money? And that started pulling the thread and unraveling a bunch of stuff that I would rather not have known. Like, I could live for another 43 years and not have known anything about Andrew Tate. I would have preferred that. And I think that Crayon Murders feels the same. And I think people like that, like these predators, they prey on people's blind spots of goodness. I've always said it's a blind spot of good people, that they can't fathom how evil can be. It's an admirable blind spot, but it's still a blind spot. So I guess you have to turn the clocks back. These guys have been on house arrest in a holding cell, are facing serious allegations, both of them. Maybe Tristan more so, but they're facing serious allegations of human trafficking, rape, continued human trafficking, using the lover boy method, abuse of women and whatnot. And a lot of it is documented because these guys are so stupid, or they were so stupid in their youth, their younger years. They were so stupid that they documented all this stuff and even taught courses like pimping hose degree. I don't really want to get into Andrew Tate and his nonsense right now, but he's left a trail behind him of self-snitching to what Bruce Clement describes as self-snitching, the lawyer on YouTube that has a YouTube channel, Bruce Clement Law Firm. I think that's what his name is, BCLR or BLR. Side issue. So it's no secret that the Trump administration, the newly formed Trump administration, was putting pressure on their counterparts in Romania to allow, for some reason, some form of clemency to the Tate brothers. The Tate brothers are American and British citizens. They have cases that are open in England, which are equally as nefarious as the cases that they're facing in Romania. If you look back at all the things I've said about the Tates over the years, you'll see I've said they're going to cut and run. I predict they're going to cut and run. Basically, during the pandemic, Murdered by Crayons and I would have these back and forths, and I would say things like, what makes you think he's not going to cut and run? And I think Murdered by Crayons talked me down. He was like, well, Adam, they'd be wanted by Interpol at that point and then be international fugitives if they cut and run. So back then it was pretty heated. Dicot was, breaking into their place and whatnot. But here we are. The Trump administration basically coerced, the master coercer, coerced the Romanians and Dicot to release this statement and change some things that their judicial control is now in a state where they're allowed to leave Romania. So let me paint a picture for you. You're facing maybe 20, 30 years in prison. So the rest of your life, if you're an adult, basically. You're facing this much time in prison in Romania, in Bucharest. Not the greatest of prisons, right? And you're thinking to yourself, I have some money, I have some connections. How can I avoid my fate of jail for the rest of my life? I can flee, I can fake my death, or I can use all my connections to try to wiggle room some favor of fleeing, of getting out of here. And I think if you were in his position, which most people will not be in Andrew Tate's position, I would say, but if you were in his position, you might use every single thing in your power to do exactly what he's done, which is legally now got on a plane and fled Romania. Now, in Romania's case, with Dicot and the prosecution and the case itself, they're still going to have the case, and there will be a court date where he is supposed to appear in court to battle these allegations with his lawyer and whatnot. And then it will be up to the Tates and the people who can predict the future whether he shows up to that court case or not. I'm going to sit here on the 27th of February 2025 and predict that he's not going to show up to any case in Romania ever again. In fact, I'll go so far as to say I don't think Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate will ever be in Romania again unless they're driving through it very fast. So as I'm filming this morning banana show, the Tate's airplane, the private Gulfstream, like I said, is about to go over the coastal area of the continental United States. And so by the time this uploads, you might have Tate landed in Miami, or Tate landed in California. Who knows where they're going to land? In New York, in Washington, to go congratulate Donald Trump and thank him for his act of clemency. The message that it delivers to people, especially victims, is, hey, there's no need to speak out. There's no need to risk everything and speak out when you're a victim, because it doesn't matter in the end. And for the young, impressionable boys who are looking up to these guys, the message is, you can get away with basically anything as long as you are on the winning team and have enough money. Human trafficking, not a problem. In other news, I finished digging a little mini well over here. You know, people do these mini wells on YouTube. And I thought I could build a functional well. I'll link to the video in the description of the functional mini well, but it's over there. And it's basically collecting, it's in a low point of our farm, so it's collecting groundwater and gray water runoff. Not septic tank water, but gray water runoff. And so it collects in this point in the ground. So I dug a hole there and put in a pump through a filter. Pretty easy way to collect groundwater. Then it's like one extra thing that we can use to water everything with. In fact, I might go water this guy with some of that right now. This little papaya. So I don't want to disappoint you or get you guys down or depressed in the morning, but this is a real thing that's happening. We can hope that with the Tates that they get extradited to the UK or eventually face the consequences of their actions, and it would be a real tragedy and miscarriage of justice to just let these guys go off with a slap on the wrist and having to stay in their house during the pandemic. So, with all that being said, if you'd like to support the show, you can buy my Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt. I'm not wearing it. You can send us a donation and we will plant a tree on your behalf through Buy Me a Coffee if you'd like. The link is in the description. You can send me an e-transfer, adam@adamjosh.com. You could also support the farm by coming here and hanging out in person, learning about off-grid farming, sustainability, soil regeneration. You could learn about solar panels. You could learn about electroculture and planting all the different types of things that we've had to plant here. You could learn about carbon sequestration and how to dig a well. You could also send Bitcoin or Doge. I'll gladly take either as a donation. So thank you guys for watching the show and supporting. I hope that you have a great day, and feel free to leave your comments below on your opinion on whether the Tates are completely innocent and should just get off scot-free with a slap on the wrist and never go back to Romania, or should there be some type of actual court case and justice, and should they see their day in court other than just deferring their court trials endlessly. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Are you tired of reincarnating? Me too! Now show the world that you don't want to reincarnate with this Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt!
I'm off the grid.